it up a bit and scrub it up, and you know, all that good stuff. So yep, please keep that in mind. Unfortunately, my internet at my house is not the best, so I have to do 432p quality, which isn't the greatest thing ever, but it's bearable, and you know, I try to keep it entertaining. I do have music, but I do interact with my chat as often as possible. Right now, there aren't too many viewers, so I can pretty much answer every single question that's thrown my way. So hopefully you guys can make it so that I have more viewers and I can answer more questions, and you guys get to know a little bit more about b-ball. Anyway, so just some background story for GEST June. Now, considering that only like 2 Southeast Asian teams have been invited to the international, I expect these Filipino teams to stick with Dota 1 for quite a while, and I really don't see much hope of them switching to Dota 2 unless they're more other sponsored tournaments besides Valve showing up. Mineski, they have their own Dota 2 team. Starzol, they have their own Dota 2 team. Starzol, of course, not playing Dota 1 very seriously. But keep in mind that the Dota 1 scene in Southeast Asia is still extremely strong, and hopefully we can see a lot of top teams. Of course, Badburn has won the last 2 GMPGL LAN tournaments for the Filipino LAN, and MSI Evo GT have won 2 of the last 3 GEST, presented by Ghost Gamers and cast by Gods. So I expected some very, very high quality matches, considering that none of these streams are going to the international. And today we have a matchup between iDeal on the Scourge side and LedionDreamz, led by Jules on the Sentinel side. iDeal, of course, is a Thailand team, a Thai team. Thai team rolls out the tongue, doesn't it? Yeah, that alliteration. Get you going. Let's go. And Dreams Leadion, of course, a Filipino team. And, you know, it's always nice to go back to Dota 1 every once in a while, just to check out the heroes that we see picked and banned these games. Heroes like Barrett is common ban, Shadow Demon, of course, much more common pick here in the Southeast Asian scene. We see a lot more different tactics. We see Triline versus Triline a lot more often. We see extremely gank-heavy lineups on both sides. Queen of Pain, Tiny, Beastmaster, heroes we don't see too often in Dota 2. Beastmaster we see sometimes, Tiny rarely. But yeah, just to comment on these heroes for a bit, I haven't seen too many Beastmaster in the Filipino replays, but it's not too surprising. And of course, heroes like Rubik, Naga, Templar Assassin, all very common picks and bans in the Southeast Asian scene. And keep in mind that those heroes are not in Dota 2 at the moment. I'm gonna try to slow down with my spaz on the mouse. You gotta forgive me, I'm a bit excited to get back into the casting business after so long, so I'm gonna try to keep the screen scroll down to a minimum and just keep this all very nice and organic and have a nice flow to it. But yeah, Naga, Templar, Assassin, and Rubik, heroes like those who are not in Dota 2, extremely popular in Dota 1, so it's always nice to see those heroes seen in the competitive play. So yeah, just to introduce the players on both teams. We have BZ on the Beastmaster for iDeal, Oxel on the Ancient Apparition, NN on the Sand King, Min on the Puck, and who's going to be playing that Morphling? It is going to be TF. And keep in mind, Gigabyte is the sponsor. They also sponsor the GS team every month. Southeast Asian Dota 1 Tournament brought to you by Ghost Gamers and Gods. And Gigabyte, of course, is the main sponsor. It is called the Gigabyte Esports Tournament. So they'll bring you Dota 1 Tournament every month. And since the Chinese do not like to release replays, you're going to have to be satisfied with the Southeast Asian craziness that is involved in Dota 1. And of course, I'll bring you Dota 2 as well. But right now, I plan on casting a lot of Dota 1. Meanwhile, on the Sentinel side, we got SS on, or OE on the Tiny. Yeah, SS looks like the sponsor tag La on the Naga, CYJ on the Earthshaker, Jules on the Queen of Pain, and Yosh on the Shadow Demon. So, another jibber jabbering, let's get back into the game. So, I'm really excited to see how this shapes out. Of course, I expect to see a Triline versus Triline action. Some sort of, yeah, we're going to see Earthshaker, Shadow Demon, Naga. A very, very durable Triline. Shadow Demon extremely powerful as a defensive tool. Earthshaker can, of course, drop a defensive fissure. And Naga, of course, is naturally very tight. He has pretty high strength growth innately. But in terms of offensive power, there's not really too much percentage that they can throw out compared to this Triline, which has Morphling, which has a 300 AoE nuke, Sand King, which has very, very nice stun and can get into melee range for attack, and Ancient Apparition nuke, who's probably the best damage spammer in that Triline. So in terms of offensive burst power, I expect the Triline to go in favor of the Scourge. And they also have 2 ranged heroes on their side, so they can met out twice the harassment as compared to only the Shadow Demon, who really wants to save that disruption. Of course, it has a 25-second cooldown at level 1, so you really don't want to be spamming it too haphazardly. Meanwhile, on this side, it's going to be Puck versus Queen of Pain. Jules is, of course, a very, very strong Filipino player. left Mineski, but has been proving his mark in the GST with LedionDreamz, and hopefully there will be more tournaments in the Filipino scene in the near future. I know GMPGL, which has been taken by Badminton the last 2 times, you might have noticed them from the last couple replays, or the last replay that I casted against MSI Evo GT, which unfortunately got cut off because of Sony Vegas. Fingers crossed, let's hope that Sony Vegas does not screw me over this time. But yeah, Queen of Pain versus Puck. Queen of Pain already getting some early harassment on the Puck. And in terms of game-changing heroes in the Filipino scene, Queen of Pain is just much more game-breaking than Puck. But keep in mind that the pace of the game favors Puck more than it does in other scenes. Very chasing heavy, very spell-reliant, spammable heroes such as Shadow Demon, Earthshaker. They don't really spam. Tiny, who's a very good spammer. So that AoE silence cannot be underestimated, so Puck is a pretty solid pick in this case. And of course, Tiny versus Beastmaster. Tiny gonna go for an extremely fast Bottle Crow. He's already has, he only needs to get about 2 or 3 creep kills before he can get that bottle, and I expect them to start bottle crowing. But Beastmaster has a more spammable nuke, he has more higher base intelligence. And let's see if he goes for the standard, inner beast build, which will allow him to push lane and get more rune control that way, so he doesn't have to waste time bottle crowing, and so the bottles can be reused for the bot lane in the form of the Puck and the Ancient Apparition, things like that. But yeah, I expect Beastmaster handling win this lane. Of course, mixed damage by the axes means that Tiny's base armor will not be extremely effective in reducing a lot of that axe damage, and he is going to go for the inner beast build. Yeah, it's going to be useful in terms of the pushing potential and allowing him to secure a lot of room control. But against Tiny, who doesn't have much mana to spam too much anyways, Tiny's extremely low, 100 HP already. And does he have enough money? Yes, he got the 3 creep kills, so he will be shipping on the bottle. But he's going to have to immediately start bottle crowing it back up. And Beastmaster has already picked up his bottle, so he's going to have full lane control. And he's got to be careful to watch out for the axes. Now he's going to back up, just going to wait for the crow to keep in, and then keep the crow nearby and then get the bottle crow spam back up. But yeah, against the hero who can't spam as much as Tiny, of course, when you have bottle crow, you can spam with any hero. I usually like to pick the Call Lyle build, but, you know, Inner Beast build, of course, very standard, and of course will give you a lot of mid-game DPS in terms of pushing down towers. And in terms of just overall team strength, iDeal has been making its mark on the Southeast Asian scene. Extremely strong Thai team. Maybe not on the level as Mythtrust, although I haven't seen Mythtrust play Dota 1 very recently, and they are not invited to the International, so we're not going to see Laba, his famous Batrider, tearing it up there for Dota 2. But I think in terms of Thai team, it's got to be Mythtrust and iDeal that springs to everybody's mind. So we'll see how iDeal can make the transition to Dota 2 if they ever get to switch off. But of course, people are saying, you know, until Dota 2 gets that land support, which Valve has promised, the Filipino Dota 1 scene is going to remain very strong. And right now, Morphling is going to get complete free farm, 9 creep kills in about 2.5 minutes. Pretty standard farm right now. Meanwhile, Naga is just going to try to tank up, probably go for that Vanguard. If he gets enough farm, he might go for the Radiance and Sacred Relic and all that jazz. But if he doesn't get enough farm, that's fine. He'll just build tank. Probably going to go into a Manta style after that if he finishes the Vanguard, if it goes late enough, and then he'll be on his merry way. But yeah, I expect the tri-line to go in favor of the Scourge, considering that the Ancient Apparition is a very strong spammer, has 4 clarities, given 2 clarities by the Sand King. So yeah, Smoke to see up on the Sand King. So I expect a roaming party to go out when they manage to get a first blood, and or when the wards expire at the 6-minute mark, and try to smoke up and get a kill there. Looks like Cold Feet is going to be dropped in the Shadow King. Can he drop a self-disruption? Fish is going to be there. Let's see if the Cold Feet does still proc. Yes, the Cold Feet does not proc, but Morphling is going to go in. Manages to pick up first blood. Nice job by Oaksel, the Ancient Apparition, picking that up, and Net is going to go be dropped on the Sand King. Gets a 2-man Burrow Strike. Is going to be able to Burrow Strike out with impunity, and now Naga has to be careful because 3 versus 1 in this case, but Fish is going to be dropped on the Sand King. Riptide, come on, Cold Feet. Nice Sandstorm dodging the last bit of the tick damage, and Morphling is going to usher away the opponents. Nicely done by the iDeal tri-lane. The Thai team showing their market in this stage of the game. 2 flying couriers being picked up. Expect the double Bile Crow to go up. I don't know if iDeal likes to do that very much either, but you know, being a Pinoy scene, I expect the LedionDreamz to exploit that to the fullest. Meanwhile, Beastmaster 23-1 as compared to Tiny 14-4, getting completely dominated, and he does have room control, so yet only 1 courier for the Scourge side. Completely unheard of in a GST game. Oh my god, what is the world going to? But yeah, meanwhile, Queen of Pain is farming pretty well, 19-7 versus 5-6, completely dominating. And that's the mark of a veteran player. Jules is probably one of the most exciting players in the Filipino scene, along with Jay and Nando. So he's definitely showing his mark, showing the mark of experience, completely dominating that puck up on that top lane. And a very, very farmed Queen of Pain is just so devastating in these types of games. When she can get the chase going, when she has a lot of mana regen, when she picks up a fast Aghanim Scepter, and then eventually builds in the Ethereal Blade, she becomes an absolute terror. Extremely hard to kill, so much burst damage being thrown out. But keep in mind, Morphling only has 15 CS, so he's not completely free farming it up. He has picked up 1 assist kill, so that's going to give him a little bit of gold. And Beastmaster completely dominating the mid lane. Won't be able to do as much burst damage, but will be able to get the ganks off. In fact, he's getting out-leveled by the Tiny, probably due to the fact that he's rune controlling with the Beastmaster Hawk. Meanwhile, we see the Beastmaster is going to try to usher away the Scourge Heroes, doing all of 2 damage to that Earthshake. What a beastly illusion. Pun completely intended, by the way. Beastly illusion of the Beastmaster. Let's see if the Fisher is going to be dropped. Soul Catcher is going to catch. The Morphling is going to wave out just in the good time, but H-Apparition is going to throw on the Cold Feet. Sand King going to be able to pick up a kill on the Naga Siren. One more hit. Naga is going to try to run for dear life, but Oxel picks up another kill. And now the Shadow Demon Earthshake are forced to retreat. Meanwhile, Morphling did not salve up. He's going to stay in the background. Shadow Demon's taking a lot of damage. Sand King picks up another kill. This turn going completely in favor of the iDeal squad. Going to throw on the Ice Vortex, slowing down the team. And meanwhile, it looks like Pink, the Puck player. No, sorry, they picked up 2 kills on the bot lane, my bad. Puck getting completely owned in the top lane, was forced to back off. And Jules is really going to have a huge impact on the mid game if they want to try to if they want to have any hope of salvaging the mid game for their team. Naga getting complete decimated in terms of farm, has died once, Ring of Basilius up. He's going to try to build that Vanguard, get as tanky as possible. But yeah, Jules doing a nice job in terms of controlling his lane. Meanwhile, Tiny versus Beastmaster. Tiny's been able to cement himself in the lane, picked up a Hasten as well, and has 28-5, not level 8. He has picked up the Grow at level 6, which is pretty standard these days, both in Dota 1 and Dota 2 in both scenes. Gonna give you some extra toss damage, give you some extra move speed, and move speed is extremely important for a hero who is such as Tiny, who is not the fastest tool in the shed, which is completely a false analogy. That does not work out in any scenario. Meanwhile, Puck is going to get a Shadow Strike, nicely dodged with that 0 mana cost phase shift. Ever since that phase shift change was introduced, I'm surprised we haven't seen Puck in too much of the scene. We see him as a niche pick in both Dota 1 and Dota 2, but I guess, you know, considering he doesn't do very much damage, considering he's not a very strong pusher, which is all the rage in Dota 2, and considering he does taper off in the late game as time goes on. Ooh, meanwhile, my mouse spazzes out. I guess it's not really too surprising. In Dota 2, really, we need to get heroes that have impact all game or just really, really devastating at one certain park. And Puck, there are better initiators on the other side. Looks like Naga's going to get Cold Feet, a nice defensive fissure being dropped by the Earthshaker. Meanwhile, Morphling just not farming well whatsoever, even though they're completely dominating this lane. A little bit misplayed by TF. Gonna have to follow him right here, 18-6, just not doing very much in terms of this farm whatsoever. Meanwhile, Puck is gonna try to bottle out, and Queen of Pain and Tiny gonna easily pick up this tower kill. No, it's still more than half HP, but Tiny sticks around. It's gonna scout out with the runes. Let's see. No, I think Puck might have wanted to pick up the courier kill, but now Tiny's gonna bottle up, gonna try to get these last creep kills, and they're gonna push down this tower, give them much needed gold for the Naga Siren. Excuse me. As Beastmaster is going to teleport in, going to try to save the tower. Meanwhile, one more hit on the courier. No, it's not going to fall. And keep in mind that you can't get a double bonus gold boost from the courier. So overall, although it is 0-3, considering Morphling, as the tower did fall, did not get denied whatsoever. Bit of mistake by iDeal. So even though they're winning the challenge completely, they didn't deny that top tower, and Morphling is not free farming. He's just not doing a nice job in terms of the last hitting. And considering he's only facing really a Shadow Demon in terms of harassment, he should be doing a better job. Looks like he's trying to pick up his CS right now, 24-9. So he's noticed that, okay, my farm's been lacking a bit. I really need to pick up a fast Lincoln Sphere because Jules is just going to go on a rampage. Queen of Pain, of course, extremely, extremely powerful in that mid game. And if he picks up a fast Aghanim Scepter, it's going to be all hell breaks loose. There. You know, Beastmaster is going to clear you up. Let's see what Beastmaster decides to do, if he's going to push the lane a bit more, try to pick up this early mid tower. Looks like that might be what he's going to go for. He has level 2 Inner Beast, so he's going to still call the wild level 1 right here, get that level 1 hog. Pretty useless right now, but it's every bit of vision does count, especially in a gank heavy metagame that we find in the Filipino scene. Meanwhile, H-Apparition might be caught out of position. They're going to Cold Feet. They're going to disrupt the Morphling. A little bit of a misplay. opinion, but Tiny just comes in with the burst damage. Morphling, only level 5, gets nuked down in the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, Dreamcoil is dropped. Naga's going to try to go on Puck. Puck has Phase Shift Man, is Bro Strike in by the Sand King, gonna get a roar on the Tiny. Tiny's gonna go down for sure. Meanwhile, Earthshaker is gonna drop another Phase Shift, stunning 3 people. Nicely done by the Earthshaker. But here comes Shadow Demon. Let's see if Queen of Pain is gonna teleport, and Queen of Pain does teleport in. He's gonna try to blink in and just gonna Scream Pain for some farm. But yeah, Morphling just not doing it nearly as well as expected, considering he had pretty much a free lane to himself, not making the most of his last hits and just dying in the blink of an eye. I mean, level 5, 9 minutes in a winning challenge, it's not really too much, it's not really something you see very often. But that top lane is pushed down, so Morphling is going to have a lot of room, and without any harassment whatsoever, without any fear of ganks, he's going to be able to farm to his heart's content. And that's all really Morphling want to do. And Morphling, just to go back to Dota 2, I mean, you might be tired of me constantly making the comparison, but I just find it so very, very interesting to compare the two scenes. Morphling is a hero who's just been trending extremely hard lately in Dota 2, extremely popular carry. Meanwhile, Jules picks up a kill on IDBZ, the Beastmaster player, and they have 3 people here. They might go for a push. Earthshaker is level 5. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain is going to try to bottle Crow up. Let's just check out the gold really fast on Jules. 900 gold in the bank. Let's see what he decides to pick up if he picks up a Staff of Wizardry to go for a fast Aghanim Scepter. Maybe save for point booster, which he should get after this tower kill. Meanwhile, Morphling is going to farm up on the top lane, and the bot lane is just going to try to keep down the Naga Siren. Naga Siren, 23 CS, very miserable farm for her. Not very close to her Vanguard whatsoever, just checking out. Actually, you know, she'll pick it up in 400 gold, and when she picks up the Vanguard, she'll be extremely difficult to kill. In terms of burst damage, I mean, there's burst damage on both sides, but I'd rather have the Sentinel's burst damage to be fair. You have the Tiny, you have the Queen of Pain, you have a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Sand King has pulses of damage that go through with the Epicenter, and he's not very farmed at all. He's not even level 6, so he's going to be a long way from picking up that dagger. Meanwhile, Morphling has picked up the farm a bit more, 45 CS. So he's going to try to pick up his Lincoln Sphere, and with Lincoln Sphere he'll become extremely survivable. Let's see if the net can be casted on the Puck. Yes! Oh my god! That teleportation was the longest the Puck had ever seen. He will be able to orb out in a couple more... No, he's out of mana as La picks up the kill. Dreamz La. That's a name I haven't spoken in a while. Picks up the kill. Naga Siren, complete misplay by the Puck. Although a little bit of bad luck for him. The creep's giving him some vision, blocking the Naga Siren at the same time. But that teleportation was just the longest I've seen in a while. Maybe he didn't teleport right back to the Fallon, which has a constant 3-second teleportation. But looks like Beastmaster with that level 2 Call of the Wild still has picked up that Clovis is going to try to push down this mid tower. Nope, Tiny's is going to pick up some farm. Picked up the Phase Boots. Not going for the standard Arcane Boots. Of course, more mobility is always better. But just the base mana pool by Tiny. Of course, base mana pool is not really too big of an issue. Meanwhile, Beastmaster versus Naga Illusion going to be completely one-sided. But yeah, Battle Crowing is just going to completely counteract the base mana pool issue that Tiny often has. Only about 800 gold away from that Blink Dagger. When he picks up that, it's going to be really smart. As Ice Blast is going to hit, let's let Puck... Oh, an unfortunate pause break as just a mad amount of spam being spammed on the screen. Poor Jewel is going to get completely melted. Ice Blast timed, and Epicenter combined with the Puck. The orb did not hit, so a little bit of misplay. Puck is not playing best right now. But meanwhile, Morphling is going to try to pick up the farm. Hasn't picked up any CS since I last checked. Barely, he only picked up 2. Meanwhile, he's going to try to finish the treads. Going to pick up a tower deny, so that's going to mitigate some of the gold loss. But looks like the Sentinel side is going to try to push down this tower. Roar going to be dropped on the Tiny, but Shouting is there. Going to drop the disruption. Tiny's going to go down for sure. One more hit. Looks like, oh, he casts Call of the Wild, and Yosh, the Shouting, picks up the tower kill. Would complete worth it. Level 5 Shouting to save the Tiny and pick up a tower. Nicely done by Yosh, completely distracting the Beastmaster and the Puck. So, yeah, all the gold boosts are going in favor of the Sentinel side. So, although the kill score dictates something else, kills, I mean, you're going to get your kills in the Southeast Asian Pinoy Dota matches. But it's really just going to come down to map control, how well the teams can get their items up on their extremely momentum-based heroes like the Queen of Pain, like the Sand King with the Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, Ancient Apparition is going to be harassed quite a bit. Puck is there for the reinforcements. Queen of Pain is just going to stop herself in her tracks. Meanwhile, I think Scourge, they want to push on this tower. They want to get some sort of map control back. They have lost this tower, which is really important for Roshan, as well as this mid-tier 1 tower. So Roshan, slowly but surely going in favor of the Sentinel. Of course, no Slaughter, no Medallion being picked up on either side. So, and not much DPS in the form of Morphling or, I mean, Naga Siren Riptide does reduce armor, so that's going to help take down Roshan. But I don't expect Roshan to fall for quite a while. Indeed, Roshan seems to be like the last thing on any Filipino, the last thing you can find in any Filipino Dota match, as Ice Blast is going to hit the Naga Siren, nicely timed with the waveform by the Morphling, but it looks like Naga Siren is going to survive, and he's going to split up, doesn't dispel the HNF for Ice Blast. Interesting note. Never really knew that mechanic, but now I do. Meanwhile, Smoke Gang is going to come in. Looks like Morphling is going to replicate out in the nick of time. Tiny Toss should be able to pick up the Sand King. No, Toss is on cooldown, but Sand King is going to die for sure. Combined with the Soul Catcher. No, one more hit. Oh my god. Oh, Fidget is going to be able to pick up the kill. CYJ, this Earthshaker. I mean, I think in every Filipino match I watch, Earthshaker just is such a strong hero. Just getting that. It's not really about the damage. It's just disabling 3 heroes at a time. Because the Pinoys love to clump up, and getting a 3-man disable is extremely powerful. And maybe that's why the reason we don't see Winner, although I do expect Winner to be banned in all these games, because Winner is just such an annoying hero who should be nerfed. Anyway, enough of my rant. Looks like the Sentinel team are going to try to push in for this tier 1 tower. And no, Pink is going to teleport in. Earthshaker going to drop off another defensive fissure, slowly but surely whittling down the HP of the Beastmaster. Sand King teleport in. Can he get a Burrow Strike off on the Earthshaker? No, he cannot. Meanwhile, just taking out the gold. Looks like Beastmaster is going to go for a Necrobook level 1. No invisibility heroes, but if you pick up an early enough Necrobook level 3, it really makes a huge amount of difference. And considering the amount of AoE, I mean, Tiny, Queen of Pain, Riptide, Shadow Poison, Fissure, I mean, those blue Necrobooks will hurt, and they're not really the tankiest heroes. Queen of Pain doesn't build very tanky, although went for a very fast Ultimate Orb. Completely unexpected. Might go for a very fast Lincoln Sphere. Lincoln Sphere is not the most con build on Quap, although it's been a while since I've last watched a Pinoy replay. So I could be completely mistaken, but usually when I see Quaps being built, I usually see Aghanim Scepter, maybe the Duke for Lincoln's first. But if this goes for a Hex, I mean, that's completely unexpected. Queen of Pains, Pinoy Queen of Pains do not go for the very fast Hex. Not that I'd blame them. I mean, very fast Hex always can make a huge difference as Earthshaker drops an Echo Slam. Sand King blinks in with the Burrow Strike. Episode is going to be chilled, trying to pick off the Sand King. Meanwhile, Jules picks up a kill on OXL, the H-Snap version, but it looks like Shadow Demon's going to take the fall. Meanwhile, Tiny doing so much damage is going to kill. And then, right off the bat, and Morphling is just going to replicate out. So 2 for 1 in favor of the Sentinel, and now I see the power of Tiny just throwing down so much damage. And just the massive amount of disables being thrown out by the Sentinel side are really taking their toll on the on the Scourge side, as Queen of Pain does get roared, but it might be in a lot of trouble. Puck is going to have to back off right now. It's going to have to orb out away. Looks like Queen of Pain is going to try to follow the orb, but a nice juke by the Puck is going to completely go the other way, as Tiny picks up the kill with the toss. Tiny should have, yes, he does have his dagger. Meanwhile, Jules picked up a lot of kills. So, only Morphling and I think Sand King were the sole survivors of that engagement. Naga was not anywhere near that fight. Was just free to farm up. Is going to be able to pick up his Vanguard should be able to pick up his Vanguard right about now. Meanwhile, Morphling, I mean, he's farming, but he's not farming very well. Every time, I think he had like 45 CS at minute 11, and he's only picked up about like 20 since that time. So this ain't ZSMJ. Just saying. Keep in mind that all these players are surely 20 times better than me. If you've watched me stream twitch.tv/VLon773, you can notice that I am not a very good player. But I do play for fun. Meanwhile, so while I cast this games, it's just going to be... you're going to hear me criticize some players just in terms of the farm rate. But Morphing's going to try to pick up his farm level 9, 18 minutes in the game. He's just been in the midst of so many engagements, and his team hasn't been able to pick up many kills. It was 3-6 in favor of their side, but now it's 8-7 in favor of the Dreamz Ledions. So yeah. Naga picked up the straight Sacred Relic, eschewing the Vanguard altogether. I guess that momentary free farm is just giving her enough, and that's how you farm up a Sacred Relic in about 7 minutes. I think it was a bit longer, and she did have the help of tower kills, so can't compare this Naga Siren to ZSMJ. But still, it's extremely good farm to pick up a Sacred Relic after being pushed down so heavily on that bot lane, after losing that bot lane quite decisively. Meanwhile, Beastmaster, still no Necro Book level 1, just checking out his gold really fast. We'll be able to pick it up very soon, just checking out the overall gold levels. Looks like Morphling is going to go for that ultimate orb, going to give him some much needed HP, mana regen, spam that waveform. And Langan Sphere is mostly just for the mana regen, to spam your waveform so you can farm even faster. It's like Battle Fear on an anti-mage, except not as good in terms of farming speed. You can't farm neutrals as fast. Waveform because it has twice the cooldown as Blink. Meanwhile, just checking out the items on the other side. Shadow Demon just going for the standard support Shadow Demon build. 4 and 4 has picked up Void's Head and has picked up the Earner Shadow, so it's going to give him some tank ability. Meanwhile, Tiny's going to go for the Force Staff. Very, very common. Langan Sphere going to be built by the Queen of Pain, about 1k gold away from finishing that. Meanwhile, Naga has about 750 gold before finishing that Radiance. And when she picks up the Radiance along with the Vanguard, she's just going to be pretty much unkillable. Keep in mind that the Scourge do not pride themselves on burst damage. Sand King is nowhere near close to being picking up a Blink Dagger. And Naga is just one of those heroes who, when she gets initiated out, she can just drop the Sonic Siren and just run the heck out. And unless you have BKB, you can't really stop her. You know, on this tower being pushed on the top lane, Necrobot being popped, gonna do a lot of damage to this tier 1 tower. It's gonna be in deny range. As, yep. So a little bit of misplay by the Scourge, and they're gonna give up an additional 500 gold that they could get, but I think that was the right move. They couldn't really afford to take that fight. Tiny, so devastating at this point in the game. Queen of Pain, just a monstrous chaser, pretty tanky as well. Naga Siren, with that Sacred Relic, is farming neutrals, going to try to pick up her Radiance in peace. And this is a very smart move. I mean, the hardest part about farming a Relic usually isn't the 3,800 gold, although that's a pretty difficult part. You know, if you don't finish that 3,800 gold very fast, if you get that 3,800 gold, if you don't have that Relic money by the 25-minute mark, you can just say, alright, skip it. But if you pick up the Relic, you pretty much have to go for the Radiance. And I find that a lot of the times, after you pick up the Relic, is the most difficult part of finishing that Radiance. Just getting that extra 1,350 gold for that recipe. Meanwhile, Shadow Strike going to be casted on the Beastmaster. Comes at ancient apparition for the reinforcement, but a nice counter gank going to come in. Looks like it is a nice destruction by the Shadow Demon. Echo Slam being dropped as well. Let's see if Queen of Pain is going to shatter. No, Queen of Pain should be able to survive. Yes, it was able to survive just barely. A couple more ticks and she would have popped like a balloon. But yep, nice reinforcing counter gank by the Dreamz Legion side. They are just showing the mark of their experience, completely dying iDeal at this point in the game. Meanwhile, Morphling, just looking at the levels, that's going to tell the whole story. It's not really about items in these Pinoy games, it's about how fast you can get those level 11s and just go on rampages with those really, really powerful ultimates. And you can just see the levels are completely in favor of the Dreamz Legion side. Sand King is really going to pick up a Blink Dagger extremely, extremely quickly in order for them to be relevant, but Morphling is going to be a lot of trouble. Melts. Or, I guess water can't really... If water was condensed into ice, then it can melt. But, you know, Morphling is... I think he's aqueous. He's not really... He's liquid. He's a liquidy, aqueous substance. And he didn't really melt. He just sort of, we'll just say he evaporated in the blink of an eye. I think that's a more appropriate analogy rather than saying, oh, he melted. You know, Queen of Pain is going to be able to pick up her Lincoln's Field extremely right about now. Extremely right about now. These insights you will not find anywhere else rather than in People on Cast. Meanwhile, Naga has picked up the Radiance. It's being shipped off. Here comes the Radiance. And he's going to be able to pick up the Vanguard extremely soon. And with that, he's going to be next on Killable. And he doesn't have boots. And if he picks up Strength Rise, he's just going to be extremely... so difficult to take down. I noticed myself say extreme a lot. Gotta cut that out, man. But it has been a while. I always take like a week-long breaks after casting and say, oh, I'm back. I won't leave you guys again. This time I'm going to actually try to stick around and bring you some high-quality Dota 1 casts. And this one, although it's not the best example of my casting, I think I say that pretty much every cast, it will get me back up to speed. But keep in mind, this game is nowhere near over. Morphling, I do believe, it has the potential to carry harder, just because he can be a stronger pusher rather than a Naga Siren. And he's going to be able to pick up the Liquid Sphere. So, Dreamz Legion, although they have a clear, huge advantage, I think if there was a gold graph, it would be around 7.5k gold advantage for the LedionDreamz side. Sorry about my mouse, it's spazzing out a bit. Looks like a smoke gank is going to be completely unsuccessful, as the boar is just going to attack the creeps. I think that might have revealed that there was a smoke gank, and LedionDreamz, they're smarter than that. They're just going to run the heck back. Meanwhile, Tiny is going to try to book it for the Sand King, so maybe they're not smarting that. He's going to get the Force Staff, going to peel to pick up the Sand King. No, Burrow Strike in the nick of the time, going to pick off the Tiny really, really easily. And one thing, you know, I always harp on, not really harp on, but there's not really as many game-breaking ultimates. Song of Siren and I think, and Echo Slam are probably more game-breaking ultimates, but just the cooldowns of these extremely useful ultimates in the form of Roar and Dream Coil, they make difference in how frequently you can get these engagements. Right, one sec, I have to pause. Anyway, I'm back. Just the most odd thing happened, guys, seriously. Like, my keyboard and my mouse just said, oh, fuck you, Beetle, I don't really want to work for you anymore. And can't really say I blame them, because I haven't been keeping them in the most good use, but still, they should be my bitches, like, seriously, what the heck. But yes, I had to restart my computer. I am back. We didn't miss anything. You might notice that the teal countdown timer is a little bit smaller. But trust me, nothing happened in those last 20 seconds, and you can hear me babble on incoherently for the rest of the cast. Meanwhile, Sand King has finally picked up his Blink Dagger, so hopefully we'll be able to get some initiation. Was able to get the nice tower knight, gonna get the stun off on the Queen of Pain, but here comes the giant counter-kicking force of LedionDreamz. Echo Slam being dropped, he picked up a Blink Dagger as well, Earthshaker did, that is, and Jules picked up a kill very easily on NN, and looks like Earthshaker's gonna be a lot of trouble, but he already did his job, he dropped the Echo Slam. Meanwhile, Ice is gonna be thrown down, one more hit by the Queen of Pain is gonna be able to pick off the H9 apparition. Just these teleports are the longest in history for the iDeal forces. They must be feeling like these teleports are just completely on against them. Meanwhile, let's see if Jules is going to continue his assault. No, they're just going to keep pushing out 2 for 1, but they didn't get the tower denied. Probably not the best trade in the world. They got an Earthshaker, or iDeal got an Earthshaker who already dropped all spells. You know, they lost the Sand King and an Ancient Apparition, even though they did get the tower denied. So overall, an even trade. Meanwhile, Morphling was nowhere near to be found then. In that engagement has 122 CS. So he's picked up the farm a bit. As finally finished up his lanes here, let's go for next. He's going to go for the standard shotgun morph build. I don't really know if that's going to be the smartest build in this case, just considering how tanky everybody on the Dreamz Legion side. The shotgun would only really be able to insta-kill the Shouty, and Shouty when has fast enough reflexes, that disruption is just such a key tool in keeping himself and his teammates alive. So I expect Morphling to go for a bit more DPS based, go for a Manta style, then try to go for the Butterfly Scotty, all those usual morph items that make him such an annoying hero to play against. And I know Luminous likes to say that Morphling is like a lesser Furion. He can just be all over the map, keep a replicate with his team. And whichever team has a Morphling, if Furion's on the opposing team, that team will always have the Roshan advantage. Because he can just farm up with the replicate, or farm up and then keep the replicate with his team, always be in engagements for the Roshan, and constantly push down the waves and be back in his team with the team fight. So Morphling just an annoying hero, and that's one of the reasons why he's seeing so much of a resurgence. Keep in mind that it's just been a year. It's just been a year since Morphling was probably the most powerful carry in Dota history. Like next to Medusa and stuff like that. We saw an unprecedented run of Morphling just completely dominating throughout so much Dota history, and meanwhile it looks like Shadow's going to get completely initiated and gets owned in the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, Jules picks up a wicked 6 streak, but they trade 1 for 1 in this case, and Tiny might go down as well. He's going to shatter one more tick. No, he's not going to shatter. What a... Just what a lucky break for the Tiny, as looks like iDeal is going to have to retreat. Morphling is going to stick with his team. Meanwhile, Naga with the Radiance is just going to be so annoying. He hasn't been able to pick up the Vanguard, even though he was able to pick up the Radiance in around 22 minutes. Since then, has only really picked up the boots. Has he died? He was 0-1. He's 2-1. Oh, he has another 300 gold in the bank. Let's see what he goes for. I'm excited. I'm actually grinning ear to ear if I had a webcam, which I don't. So, yeah. Meanwhile, it looks like NN just melts once again. Well, I guess if he melts sand, it turns into glass. Sand King melting. He's the king of the desert. This is a conundrum. I think I'll have to recruit the top Dota scientists in all the world. Gotta hit up Bruno and see what he'll say about the technical term for Sand Kings melting in the blink of an eye. But yeah, just to go back on my rant about the Morphling, I was like, oh, I'm making such such a good point about Morphling. He was such a powerful hero, and then, you know, all this happened in the blink of an eye. It looks like a little bit of FPS lag, but it stabilized itself out. Good computer, nice computer. You don't want to keep pissing me off, do you? No, you don't. You're a good computer. Meanwhile, Jules is just going on a rampage, just checking out their gold really fast. 180 gold. Naga has 5k gold in bank, can get whatever her heart desire. Might go for straight heart. That might not be the worst idea. It has the ring of health, but hasn't picked up the vid boost or anything. Straight heart wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Let's see what he goes for. He's gonna pick up the reefer. Yes, gonna go for that straight heart. Blink of the, I have not watched this replay, guys. I'm just that good. But when you do save up 5k gold, you kind of are forced to go for a big item. And considering Naga was not the tankiest, heart seemed like the most logical choice. But shh, just let me keep pretending that I'm the best. But yeah, it was just a year ago that Morphling was probably the most dominant Dota carry in quite a while. I mean, you know, there are other heroes, Medusa, Sniper, Spectre. I think Spectre is probably going to be the most dominant carry because she reigned supreme for so much of Dota's existence. Meanwhile, Jules is just picking off heroes left and right. It has picked up the Aghanim Scepter, and she's killing heroes in a blink of an eye. I mean, no Ethereal Blades, but she's really, really just destroying the iDeal heroes. But yeah, just to go back to that Morphling point, Jesus. LedionDreamz, can you let a brother breathe? Nah, you can't. You're just too high octane. Once you smell blood, you're like sharks in the water. You just gotta keep it up. But yeah, just a year ago, Morphling was the most dominant carry in Dota that Dota had seen in quite a while, next to Medusa and heroes like that. And then IceFrog sort of changed him up a bit, nerfed his armor to probably, I think it's 1 or 2 base armor at level 1, nerfed the stats on his morph skills, instead of giving 2, 4, 6, 8, went back to 0, but then he rebuffed it to 2, 3, 4, 5 for each level of morph you take. Nerfed so that you can't replicate Manta Illusion, so that's going to hurt his pushing tower. But the essence of Morphling is still there. Extremely, extremely fast farmer when he picks up Mana Regen. Extremely, extremely difficult hero to kill. And a hero who, unlike most hard carries, has some early game presence. I mean, you can't really discount an AoE 325 damage nuke. And I think the most powerful thing about carry in this game is that you have to be able to survive. Meanwhile, Morphling is going to morph to strength. He's going to try to morph so much. Meanwhile, Epicenter is going to be cancelled by the Yellow Scepter. Puck blinks in with a nice winger. Going to be able to immediately pick off the Shadow Demon. Nice engagement by iDeal, taking it to LedionDreamz in the form of counter ganks. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain is just going to stick around, going to hurt down that Tiny Illusion just a bit. But I think LedionDreamz, they don't want to give up any more than they have to. Unfortunately, Sand King Epicenter was used, so LedionDreamz can go on the offensive, but no, Naga's just going to farm up. Has picked that Heart of Turres, and I think Naga might finally decide to join the game and start pushing it down and start trying to get some towers, or at least try to get the Roshan. Meanwhile, all tier 2 towers on the side of iDeal has gone down. Meanwhile, all tier 2 towers for LedionDreamz are still up. So in terms of map control, just LedionDreamz has up the wazoo. It's just oozing out of every orifice. Alright, I'm gonna stop. This is getting a little bit too geographic. I'm gonna try to keep this cast rated PG-13. Rob Schneider, rated PG-13. Anyway. Shout out to South Park, still being awesome. Although less awesome than it used to be. So just map control is completely in the favor of LedionDreamz, and I'm not really too sure how iDeal can fix that. I mean, Morphling doesn't have nearly enough farm. He can still get ganked quite easily, but fortunately for him, he does have extremely powerful replicate, and he's going to hit level 16 very soon, so that replicate is going to last 60 seconds or 55 seconds at level 3. And with that, he's going to be really, really difficult to gank. But I think if LedionDreamz really want to, they can just go in for the push and try to win the game right now. Naga has hearts and boots of travel. Looks like Queen of Pain is going to go for the Hex now, instead of going for the, not really standard, but the noteworthy Ethereal Blade after the Aghanim Scepter. Shadow Demon still Jack Diddley in terms of farm. Morphling is going to go for that Manta rather than go for Ethereal Blade. I like this choice a lot. Each apparition just getting whatever items he can. And looks like iDeal's going to go for Master Necro Books. This late in the game, I'm not really too sure how many. I think you really want like at least 2 finished Necro Books by 35 minutes in game. 2 level 3 Necro Books 35 minutes in game. I'm just completely making up these arbitrary timings, but those just seem right in my opinion. just because the tankiness on LedionDreamz is starting to become a bit of a problem. Earthshaker, 1100 HP, level 11. He doesn't really do much else, but Earthshakers on the in the Pinoy scene tend to get pretty farmed. After they get the Blink Dagger, they go for the Aghanim Scepter, and once they get the Aghanim Scepter, they just do so much damage. As a little bit of a graphical glitch right there. That was a little bit weird. I'm gonna keep my eye on Morphling. Hopefully that won't keep happening. Meanwhile, Naga Boots of Travel, is she gonna make anything with the Ring of Health? That's gonna be the real question. Morphling has 200 CS. Yep, bit of a graphical glitch right there. Well, hopefully you guys won't mind too much. But it looks like Jules finally died. Sand King is challenging the Epicenter. Can they get any more kills? They're gonna try to chase on the Earthshaker. Sand King barrels in with the Burrow Strike. And that might be the end of that engagement. Earthshaker does die finally, and I'm a little bit puzzled to see how Jules died. I guess they used so many ultimates on them, every ultimate except for Epicenter apparently. But Min is the next one to fall. Min was the Puck player, but Puck after dropping Dream Coil not really too useful anymore. Purge is going to be dropped on the illusion of the Naga Siren, or the replicate rather. And keep in mind that they do know that it is a replicate, as it's just going to farm it up for the Morphling, just going to keep farming it up. So iDeal completely still in this game, and considering Naga hasn't really had too much of an impact, she's farmed as heck, but has she done anything? Not so much. And with the Jules dead, a lot of the mobility, a lot of the burst damage on the side of LedionDreamz has been cut out of the equation for at least 20 more seconds. Oh my god, I can look at the scoreboard. Jesus Christ, I'm good. Meanwhile, First is kind of desperately built up to that mechanism. But LedionDreamz, they're doing a nice job not panicking. They're also Queen of Pain, so what? We'll just spread the Naga illusion around, farm all the jungles, farm all the lanes, and just keep iDeal up in their own base. Looks like Morphling has picked up that Lincoln Sphere. Or that Med style, and he has no buyback, as is typical in most Southeast Asian Dota matches. You don't always save for buyback unless you really, really are down in money. And I don't really know if buyback on Morphling would help if LedionDreamz did wipe the iDeal side. So yeah, they're just saving all their money for the next team fight, and then they're going to try to go in from there. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain, just checking out, she did die, so she's still quite far away from the Hex. She has picked up the Ultimate Orb to give her a little bit more tanky. Tiny has a lot of gold in the bank, 30,000 gold in the bank. Has a Yule Scepter Divinity gonna help not only chain to settle down the Sand King, which I haven't seen the Sand King drop down too many Epicenters in any of these team fights, but also gonna be really useful in terms of keeping the Tiny alive, just keeping him constantly in and out of team fight, cycling up in the air, dropping the Blink Dagger, force staffing. Just being a Puck in terms of his mobility. Really, really devastating stuff. Meanwhile, Naga just doing what she does best, which apparently is farming. So yeah, La not really doing too much in this game, but she is providing a lot of pressure, but slowly but surely these towers are going to get worn down. Morphling is one of those heroes who you can't really leave alone. And in terms of just pure late game ability, I mean, as long as you replicate the Naga illusion, which Morphling is doing, nicely done, always keeping that radiance damage, and 40 damage per second during the course of, let's say, 10 seconds, if that replicate is around to survive that whole damage, it's quite a bit of damage. I mean, 40 damage per second for 10 seconds is, 400 damage in the NAOE. You know, we just saw Tiny just explode in a blast of granite, and slowly but surely, iDeal is getting themselves back in this game. I'm not really too sure if this is just iDeal playing very well, but they just got baited into a huge Echo Slam by the Earthshaker, and now Beastmaster and Puck are going to take the fall. And now I think iDeal are going to be hard-pressed to defend this. They do have H-Snap version throwing down Ice Blast constantly, and that's going to prevent the healing and the regen by the Naga Siren illusions. But without Tiny, without any form of initiation, without Earthshaker ultimate, their only real form of initiation is just Naga, go get him, sick him boy, or sick him girl. You know, Queen of Pain is slowly but surely being axed down, so it looks like LedionDreamz are not going to be able to push into this base, at least until Tiny gets back, but no, one person is already revived. Sand King has revived for the Scourge side, and Puck is going to revive about 10 seconds, and with that he's going to have his ultimate up in about 20 more seconds, and all their ultimates are, again, like I said earlier, not as many game-breaking ultimates, but shorter cooldowns mean you can take more frequent team fights. And this late in the game, I mean, more team fights you take with all your ultimates, the better. that only really counts in the early game. I mean, late game, heroes have such long respawn times anyway, so scratch what I just said. But Naga decides, alright, I stood in front of their tower for a couple seconds. I think I'm just gonna go back to farming. Farming's so much easier. I like this. I like watching ghouls die, just all around me. And Naga just checking out her gold really fast. 4k gold in the bank. Wonder what she's gonna go for next. Maybe Eagle Horn Butterfly. No, she's gonna go for the Altar Manta style. I like this. It'll help her boost up her Manta illusion damage. Gonna give her some move speed, and it's gonna give her even more illusions to just cause a lot of havoc. And I mean, when one illusion's constantly taken by the replicate, the more illusions, the merrier. It looks like Naga is slowly but surely just going to try to whittle down, just constantly canceling the Blink Dagger. Sand King has picked up a gem along with the Observer Ward. Not really too sure what this gem will do for you. I mean, it's good for counter warding, but you're not really getting outside the base to do any counter warding, to be fair. So this might just be a little bit of a waste of 700 gold right now. But I guess it's going to help. Every bit of vision helps, I guess. I mean, what else is Sand King at? I guess he'd have more money. And I'm back. Oh man, my mouse just keeps dying. When my mouse dies, my keyboard just dies for the same reason. I really need to get a new mouse and a keyboard, I guess, because they're just bugging the heck out of me. This is the third time I have to restart the replay, just fast forward in, and just. I wish Dota 1 had the Dota 2 replay system where you could just fast forward to any point, because it does take about 5 minutes at 8 times speed to get to the 42-minute mark. But enough about me whining and bitching. Let's get back into this game. Meanwhile, it looks like just a little bit of initiation on Jules. Going to get silenced a bit, but no real danger of being threatened whatsoever. Just taking out the gold really fast. 2,500 gold in the bank for the Naga. So in about 200, 300 gold, she will be able to pick up her Manta style, and with that, I think Dreamz Leading will have the confidence to push in and get the base. Meanwhile, Ursher gets initiated on Mana Burn in for the kill. Nicely done by Oxel's Necrobook illusions. I think actually that might have been Beastmasters, because Oxel is the ancient apparition. He does have cold feet. Meanwhile, Tiny's going to Cyclone in. Can he blink out? He does blink out. 2.5 second Cyclone, and that half second of him not taking damage is just enough for him to blink out and get away. So just like an Earthshaker, Earthshaker of course only level 13, so he has a relatively low respawn point for till the rest of his team. Ty gonna try to finish up his Hex. He's still quite a ways away. He's about 2,000 gold, 1,900 gold to be exact, away from finishing that Hex. And once he finishes the Hex, I mean, more disables him better. And you can throw them down on the Morphling, but you still can't really leave Morphling too much room to farm. He finishes Manta style Lincoln Sphere, but I don't know how much gold does he have in the bank. Does he have any items on the courier? I do not see anything. It looks like the items just got shipped up. He has picked up an Eagle Horn, so he's slowly and starting to become ever so more threatening. And you don't want to leave a hero like Morphling, who just really needs one opening to just push in, get a tower or two, and just get the Roshan advantage. So LedionDreamz, I think they should make their move pretty soon. I mean, since the Naga Siren picked the Ravens, they pretty much haven't done anything. They've just really been pressuring. Of course, they have a massive goal advantage. They're firing the jungles constantly. But still, I mean, the more openings you give, and Tiny's not a hero who scales extremely well. It looks like Queen of Pain and Tiny managed to pick up IDBZ, the Beastmaster's head nonetheless, and he has 60 seconds to respawn. So without the Necro 3, without the Roar, it's going to be pretty difficult to stop Naga. Let's see if LedionDreamz will now wait for this to make their move. Ice-Slash is going to whiff, it's going to graze the Tiny, so he won't be able to regen up for a bit, but he won't have to go back to the base to heal up. He won't be any in danger of shattering. Does Heals disable the shatter? It might. An interesting mechanic. Never really thought about that. So many interesting mechanics still to be discovered, in my opinion. I mean, you guru boss. I mean, if Lunas is watching this, he's like, oh, Belon, you're just such a scrub. I always knew that Manta split, and Naga mirror image illusions didn't dispel Ice Blast, and Yule Scepter did. And I just like Lunas, whatever, man. We don't all do DWSs. Meanwhile, Hex is going down Sand King. Sand King is completely caught out of position, getting an avalanche toss. Sand King is going to be dead for another minute, but Beastmaster is going to respawn. Let's see if LedionDreamz are going to try to push in. The Roar will be up, but I don't think they could kill anybody besides the Shout even. In the span it does take to kill that. In the span of the Roar duration. Meanwhile, Naga, how much gold does she have? Is she shipping out the Manta style? She should have the Manta style coming her way. Too many couriers, man. Too many couriers. But yeah, it looks like LedionDreamz is saying enough is enough. We leave you guys hanging too long, too often. As looks like a giant lag spike is gonna completely screw everything up. Avalanche Echo Slam gonna blink in. Looks like Beastmaster takes the fall immediately. Iceblast is gonna kill. Tiny Dream Cold is gonna try to escape. Yes, he's gonna not shatter. He escapes by the brink of his teeth. And Morphling went for the Ethereal Blade. Boo, don't like this choice whatsoever, but meanwhile Naga is still oh so dangerous, and he's keep in mind that his heart regen will start kicking in, and now he's going to start going the offensive. He looks like LedionDreamz, they're going to try to take this tower. They trade a Shadow Demon for a Beastmaster, but it looks like Sand King blinks in. He does get stomped from the epicenter, and now Extreme Pain is going to be able to pick up the kill. No, Sand King is going to die to the Radiance damage. Tiny did take the fall to the tower. Frame lag is hopefully not going to screw anything up, but Naga is going to be at full HP very, very shortly. Meanwhile, Earthshaker did die to the Morphling, so Ethereal Blade doing some work as all sorts of havoc is being created. Looks like Queen of Pain blinked in, managed to pick up ID, the puck in the midst of all that, but Naga is at full HP. I wouldn't be too scared if I was in Naga, but I guess you don't really want to fight a replicate of yourself. But iDeal is just doing a nice job holding on, always holding on. But Naga looks like she said, enough is enough. I don't really want to wait for Beastmaster to respawn. He's going to split a bunch of times, going to split the Manta Illusions, going to try to kill this tower. Might just, oh, you can't really pop the Naga Siren anymore. Completely forgot about that. But it's just so difficult to tank. So difficult to kill. Is going to be able to pick up the bottom racks regardless. Is going to cast the sleep. Is going to teleport out. And Naga's still annoying as ever. As save is going to be caught by Jules. So finally the first racks of the game are taken on the bot lane. But iDeal did a nice job just keeping LedionDreamz from really storming their base. I mean, it was only through the complete endurance of the Naga were they able to breach the racks. But still, I don't know if Ethereal Blade was the right call. The problem with Ethereal Blade this late in the game is that you want to keep attacking, and 3.5 seconds where you're not attacking, it's pretty big. And I don't know if the ethereal damage outweighs the amount of damage that Morphling could pal if you just kept attacking. So I'm not really a big fan of Ethereal Blade. And keep in mind that this late in the game, heroes are going to start tanking up. They're going to be able to pick up enough HP, might be able to pick up cloaks as well to counteract the ethereal burst damage. So I don't like this Ethereal Blade choice whatsoever by the Morphling. Every second that you're not attacking is so much damage being lost. But it looks like the iDeal squad, they regained a little bit of confidence. They said, alright, we can't kill the Naga, but we can pretty much kill everybody else. Let's try to pick up a kill, but Naga Illusion's going to try to scare everybody away. Meanwhile, even though that restart of my computer happened, looks like the glitch is still happening where you can see waveform. Looks like Sand King is going to get initiated on. Can he get blink out? Yes, he burst strikes out in the nick of time. Dracobi dropped. Earthshaker melts in the blink of an eye. Just gets completely butchered. Tiny dies as well. iDeal, can they make the comeback? No, Naga is so annoying. Is going to be able to pick up this top tower. Is going to just try to push down this, do as much damage as possible to this top racks. And now Naga is unkillable. As the heart, as the Manta style, is going to try to get one more kill. No, Ancient Apparition in the background is just going to try to scare away the Naga. Naga is going to turn around for the Ancient Apparition. Warrior is casted on Naga, going to get Ethereal Blade down, but not enough damage being pumped out. And Naga's going to teleport out with the Song of the Siren. And keep in mind, Song of the Siren has a 100-second cooldown at level 4. Or it might even be shorter, it might be like 80-second. Level 3 rather. So it's going to be up for the next team fight. Meanwhile, the racks are in full reach. LedionDreamz, they are not winning this as convincingly as I expected. This Morphling just doing a lot of work. But we did see burst damage, not enough to kill the Naga because she's oh so tanky. As Manta style, his heart has picked up the Assault Curious. That's going to be really, really devastating in terms of reducing the armor for the build. Just going to increase the illusion's DPS by so much. Mirror image plus 2 more Manta illusions, 6 Nagas attacking your base. I'm in your base, killing your Rex. What else can you do? Meanwhile, Morphling is going to get hexed and Shadow Strike first and then hexed. And that's going to disable him for a couple seconds. Nice chains by Jules. Just, you know, every bit of Morphling's time you can waste is a moment of time he's not used to pushing out his lanes. Just not used for him farming. So every second does count. Maybe not this lane in the game, but still, it does count. Meanwhile, mouse has died, but yep, it looks like it's back to normal. I really need to get a new mouse. Or maybe I should get sponsored by like Steel Series or Razer. if you are a representative of SteelSeries or Razer, please contact me. I would love to be sponsored by you guys. This mouse is terrible. It was the cheapest mouse I could find. It's Dynex. So yeah. Meanwhile, Oak saw the Ancient Apparition dies once more to Jules, and now I don't really see too much of a way. All tier 2 towers are still up for LedionDreamz side. LedionDreamz has to win several battles, at least 2 or 3 in a row, and pick up the Rayshon and the Aegis before they can even get a sniff of the base of the Sentinel. Sorry, iDeal on the Scourge side, LedionDreamz on the Sentinel side. Meanwhile, Morphling is in... He does have enough money for buyback. Let's see if he decides to go for Scotty or Butterfly or something like that. I mean, picking up the Eagle Horn will give him a lot more damage in terms of the amount of damage he can output through the Ethereal Blade. But Scotty, in terms of keeping him alive, it'll be pretty useful. It looks like Naga, all the while, my mouse is frozen, is gonna be backdooring the top racks. Yep, backdoor the top racks, and meanwhile, my mouse is just saying, fuck you, Yvonne, I hate you. So, yep. Very annoying, which is going on right now. But I'm going to try to use the arrow keys now and try to get the rest of this game. But yeah, we saw on the minimap, Naga's finally able to pick off that top racks without too much trouble. And now Naga's going to go in from the back. And this is, even without the building nerf on the Naga, meanwhile, BZ managed to pick up a double kill. B-Stars picked up a double kill on the Earthshaker and on the Shadow Demon. But the two least important heroes, and we all look at Naga. So annoying, and I don't really know. Not too much that iDeal can do against this many Naga illusions. And AC, and these illusions are pretty tank. I think Naga could just go back in, suicide for those racks, buy back, teleport in, and just get another Rax kill. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But nope, that Rex did finally die. It looks like Jules wanted to get that last hit up on the Rex, and with that Rex down, one Rex is all that remains from the iDeal squad and the loss, and looks like Naga is going to send iDeal packing in this group stage match. And unfortunately, I won't be able to bring you as many games as I thought I would as fast as possible. This mouse is just becoming a huge issue, as Naga makes a little bit of a smiley face. I mean, to be fair, if LedionDreamz just pushed as 5, I think they could still win, or they'd win faster, but I guess I mean, there's a reason why backdoor measures are in place, so I don't really think this is too bad of manners. So, it's still just annoying to be constantly seized by Naga illusions, nonetheless. As Sleep being casted, but Ancient Apparition was still alive, and the Sleep was not in range for the Naga for the Rax, so looks like the Naga's illusions are still able to hit. But finally, CYJ, the Earthshaker, does die. The last Drax is on very low HP, and I don't really see too much of a way for LedionDreamz to lose this unless they all just like died the fountain 5 or 6 times, or just hold position on Roshan, and even then it would take a long time for that rock to beat down on the Naga. So yeah. This game is pretty much in the bag. Just waiting for the GG out. Oh, I'm gonna try to reconnect my mouse in the midst of all this. Just gonna keep my mouse on this last Rex, reconnect the mouse so I can put on the score screen and end this game. So yeah, hopefully my eternal mouse woes. Nope. Did that fix anything? Yes, barely. Naga picks up the mega kill. This replay timer is over. That's a little bit of a pity. I thought it was casting reasonably well, especially after the first reset. I sort of got my composure back, but the game, it does not like me. So I will still try to bring you as many games as possible, but I won't be able to bring you as many games as fast as possible, so just keep staying tuned. I'll put up a post on DC, and this game is completely over. BZ calls the GG, and the throne is about to fall. So here's the final score screen. So follow me on twitch.tv/b1773. Keep subscribed if you want to watch all the GST June matches. Not all of them, because I'm determined to bring you at least 5 matches from GST June. And yeah, I apologize profusely about my mouse difficulties. Hopefully you didn't get like motion sickness from all that. But there was really nothing I could do. I don't have any backup mice right now. Or maybe I'll look for one so I can cast some more. I really want to cast as many games as possible right now, because it is NBA Finals, so you know, every time I'm not watching that, and I had a bit of an injury, so I can't really work out at the gym. But yeah, I'm gonna be out to cast a lot, so hopefully I can find another mouse somewhere. But yeah, here's the final score screen. Please follow me on twitch.tv/bbalm773. Please keep subscribing and all that jazz. And if you are from SteelSeries Eraser, please, I'll pimp the hell out of your products. Just send me some better, some nicer keyboard equipment. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks for watching this GST main match. Let me know if you still want to watch Dota 1 matches. I know some people, I mean, a lot of my audience is still Southeast Asian because I mostly cast Southeast Asian Dota 1 matches. And I decided, you know, I might as well cast a lot of these June GST matches. But let me know if you really, really want to watch some of the international qualifier matches. I know Luminous and LD have cast a lot of those already, but if you want to see my take on them or anything like that, let me know if you want to see international qualifier matches rather than me talking about Dota 1. But I still find it very interesting to watch heroes like Naga, Templar Assassin, Rubik, heroes that are not in Dota 2 still make their impact in Dota 1. And yeah, and keep in mind that none of these teams are invited to the International 2 for the Southeast Asian teams, so they will have a long time to concentrate on Dota 1, so I expect high quality Dota 1 matches in the future. Hopefully I can find some Chinese replays somewhere, so I can bring you multiple scenes of the Chinese Dota 1. But yeah, thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.